Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar on our Power BI reporting pack for i365. Over the next half an hour or so, we're going to be looking at the following points on the agenda. We're going to be looking at what Power BI is, after a bit of housekeeping, what Power BI is, the common reporting problems that face organisations, and how Power BI addresses these. We're then going to look at the i365 Power BI reporting pack, and there's going to be a demo just to see what it includes and how it all comes together. Then we'll have a summary, and finally, you will have some contact details to get in contact with either myself or for any further questions you have, or your account manager. So first of all, a bit of housekeeping. The session is being recorded and will be made available to you after. All your lines are set to mute. And if you do have any questions through the course of the presentation, can you please click at the right-hand side of the screen? There should be a question icon. A new pane will pop up. If you type your question in that box and click ask, then what I will do after the presentation, after the webinar, I will go and answer each of these individually and come back to you with any other queries or any of your specific questions that you have after you've seen the presentation. So going into it, what is Power BI? For those of you who haven't seen, sort of looked at Power BI in any detail before, it takes your reporting requirements and sort of flips them from the traditional style. So Power BI is extremely visual. It's dashboard, graphs, it's interactive. As you can see there, it's live, so you can connect to live data sources. You're not having to pull data in from somewhere, filter it and amend it, sort it, and things like that. It's mobile, so all your reporting via Power BI you can access via your tablet or mobile phone, so you get your information on the go as well. It's web-based, so you don't need everybody to have a desktop client, and it's collaborative. One of the biggest things, and we'll talk about this as part of some of the challenges that face organizations, is making sure that your users, and they don't need to be finance users, they just need to be users within your organization, have access to the right information at the right time. One of the big things about Power BI is the visuals and things like that. Whereas old traditional reporting sort of methods are, you get the data, you put it into Excel, and I'm an accountant. From my background is accountancy. You're never not going to use Excel as an accountant. I get that, but what the traditional method is, you put the data in Excel, you have VLOOKUPs, you pivot, things like that. And then at the very end of the process, you sort of put a glossy end on it. So you might use that information that you've pivoted, might use that information that you've got in your set formats to put some graphs on it and things like that. Power BI is the opposite way around. So you build your visualizations first, you build your outputs, your final sort of graphs, your whatever you want to say. But Power BI then allows you to, should you wish, to interrogate that data in Excel after that matter. So it's a bit of a flip round of your traditional reporting methods. One of the biggest things that I need to stress on here is it's a world-leading reporting platform. Microsoft themselves are putting money into Power BI on improving the sort of look and the feel, improving the different kind of visuals that you get, improving how it interacts with other products all the time, and different connectors. As you can see there on the left-hand side, the Magic Quadrant, it's there as a leader with other well-known reporting sort of platforms such as Tableau, and it's at the leader of the Forrester Wave as well. So not only are we building this to help you move your business forwards, but we are using a platform that Microsoft are investing extremely heavily in and want to keep within them sectors as a market leading product. So common reporting problems. I mean, these aren't sector specific. These go across and have been sort of, you can tick them off against anywhere that you've probably worked. But the common reporting problems that anybody has within a finance team are multiple systems, make consistency in reporting difficult, reliance on employees creating the reports. So, by the time you've done your day jobs, you've got through, you've done your month end, and then you look at your reporting, you could be at the 20th, 25th of the month. By that time, your report's out of date and you're almost into a new month end. It means that you're reactive instead of being proactive. a point there is reports can be emailed to everybody, so you don't get any control on who sees the report or sees the background data. Report is available on all devices, and there's not one version of the truth. We've all been in places. I mean, everybody can interpret data differently, but what one of the biggest common problem reporting is the sales team might make their own sales report, the finance team will make their own finance report, your operations team might do their own thing like that. But you're relying on that data that they provide to be the correct data and not hide things or take things out of it. So, one of the biggest common reporting problems is not one version of the truth across the whole organization. So how does Power BI address these? Well, with regards to the multiple data systems, what Power BI allows you to do is upload multiple data sources into one place. So all that you need within your different sources, and what we're going to show today is the i365 report linking to ODBC. It can link to SQL and to an Excel spreadsheet, just to give a basic understanding of how that comes together. But as long as you have a common reference field within your data sources, you can load all that into Power BI and allow for a 360 view of your reporting in the one place. Once you load your data into Power BI, you can actually schedule reports, which takes away from the reliance of employees having to create their own reports manually. And you can actually schedule these for refresh on an hourly, a daily basis, things like that via a data gateway. So you can have the level of data being as up to date as what you want it to be within, based on what reported is really. If it needs to be done hourly, you can have it done hourly, and you can have it done up to 8 frequencies per type. So you can have it 8 hours a day when it's refreshing. That obviously, with that, means because you're looking at the live data sources, your reports are as recent as you wish them to be. And as a knock-on effect from that, it allows users to see potential strengths and, of course, weaknesses and and opportunities as they are developing within your reporting packs, to allow for quicker decision making. So, for example, if you see a spike in your costs on the 20th of the month and you think, what the hell's that? Instead of waiting until the end of the month as part of your month-end review, somebody could be looking at that, addressing it, seeing what it is, and it giving you the answers to your questions before the question is asked. Power BI Online not only does all that, but you get to share the report. And that sharing the report means, instead of emailing it, where you're going to be emailing all the background data and all the data sources as that, what Power BI Online allows you to do is share only the report. So the users don't get to see, if you don't want them to see, the users don't get to see where the source data is coming from, all the tables. So it allows the author of a report to control who gets to see what. You don't lose any functionality in the reports, as you can see there. All the reports are visible, all the drill down to whatever level that you have is visible. But it allows for you to maybe send a report to somebody else within your finance team who does have the access to build their own reports off the data tables in the background. But also you might want to send it outside of finance for them just to see the reporting element. Again, as I mentioned before, big thing is that Power BI has its own dedicated app on Android, iOS, and Windows. So any reports that you publish into the online environment can be viewed via your mobile app. All the interactive filters work, so you have your information to the touch of the button. You don't have to be either logged into a client, or you don't even have to have an internet signal. As long as you've got a 4G signal, 3G, you'll be able to get that detail up. And covering the biggest issue that I've had in previous businesses, as the reports can cover multiple data sources, Power BI reduces the risk, as it says here, of different areas of the business providing their own reports where information may be hidden. I'll stress again, you might interpret, different departments may interpret the data differently. However, Power BI allowing the actual tables to be loaded into the system means that you are only seeing exactly the same data as what anybody else within your organization is seeing. So it provides that one version of the truth. It provides consistency in the reporting, and you know full well that if you're having a sort of high level conversation with anybody, you know that you're looking at the same sort of data. Which brings us on to what is the i365 reporting pack? Well, I'm sure many of you use i365 know that sometimes once I got over the shock of seeing the table structure, but the reporting within i365 has come on absolutely leaps and bounds. If any of you have been on the recent customer days, you'll have been able to see just what we've done built within the system. However, we wanted to take that a step further. So looking at the core financial modules and the core financial tables within i365, we've been able to produce via Power BI a customer age debt report, a supplier and age creditor report, subcontractor and subcontractor analysis, and a subcontractor age creditor report, subcontractor analysis by job, which shows your subcontractor balances, including retention, all under one place. Obviously, you've got your income statements, your income statement by job, your balance sheet, your sort of standard financial statements. We've also done Daybooks, and the Daybooks allow you to drill down on who's posted what, when, see trends, see postings, and always be able to go back and quickly report on who posted what and when. We've done a cash analysis, so the cash pages will allow you to see what's due, what's overdue, how cash has fluctuated from within the year as well. So let's have a look at the report and let's see what it looks like. Now, what I am going to say at this point, we're on this report here, I've been looking at our test system and test data, so some of the graphs don't sort of show a fair reflection of what your business will be. As you can imagine here, a gross margin one spikes to 1.1 million in month 10, but doesn't have anything the rest of the month. So please bear that in mind. And also bear in mind, these visuals are extremely basic, and there's a reason why we keep them basic. Every one of our customers that we've done this have all had their own specific requirements on what they want the visuals to be. And what we can do as part of the visuals is show, if you don't want a pie chart, you can have, a bar graph, you can have a pie chart, you can have whatever you want. Just as a sort of a reflection of that, we actually have a customer who we're working with at present who that's their revenue by month chart. It's dummy data, but that's what they wanted. And then they're like, no, we want this to actually stand out. We need people to be engaged by this. What sort of things can we do? And just clicking on that, we can put, sorry, if I just delete that, click on the report and click that. What you'll see, there's thousands of different visuals, some motion, some interactive, some flip and things like that. So when we're building this report, we can make this, obviously you wouldn't do this for an external report, but for an internal sort of view, these fishes determine what sort of level of revenue there are, but it draws people to the report, it engages people into it, and that was one of the things they wanted to do internally. So the sort of visuals that I show on the reporting pack right now, please don't be sort of put off by, because there are hundreds, thousands of visuals that we can put in place to make whatever you want to see in whatever format you want to see. So going back to the report, you've got all the tabs at the bottom. So you've got income statement by month. All these are filtered by different filter categories, either from what you have within your i365 or from somewhere else. There could be an Excel spreadsheet or things like that. One of the things that we do to make this report work, we need to obviously provide a standard to your income statement layer. So as you can see here, we've got revenue, cost of sales, expense. You might not have that level of analysis within your inbuilt i365. So looking at the tables, what we actually do, and for those of you who've seen the table structure in i365, you'll realize just how painful this actually is. But if I just drag that out of the way, sorry. If I just go to the chart of account spreadsheet and just see how this all comes together, we have provided this is an Excel spreadsheet in table format. It's got your nominal account, it's got the account title, it states whether it's a balance sheet or not. And you've then got your categories, so you've got your balance sheet accounts. If I drill down on that, you can see 1 revenue, 2 cost of sales, 3 expenses, to put it in the order of a financial statement. And what this allows us to do, without going into your i365 system and doing a lot of information, doing a lot of changes within i365, just purely looking at this spreadsheet, linking that from here to a nominal account to what's in i365, and creating a relationship between this spreadsheet and your i365 tables, it allows us to categorize in an income statement, in a balance sheet. It allows us to have all these categories, your nominal cost centers, as filters. So if I wanted to look at, for example, what was coming out against cost center 03, you click the filter, everything will update. You see the values, all your tables update. So although it's only got cost center there, that could be cost center name, it could be budget holder. You could got your filters here by month, year, and things like that. And everything is so interactive. So instead of having, all different reports in one place, you can have it all here and just quick filter, really, really quick filtering. We have income statement by CC a category, by cost center a category. So you can see here how your income statement, the cost centers are at the top, your categories are at the top. So it will allow you to report in whatever format you want. And this is all in the same place. So there's 17 tabs according to on this reporting pack. You could have 27, you could add more to it, you could take a report off. However, you could have a full sort of internal reporting pack and then make a copy of it, make some changes to visuals, and have one that you only send out to sort of your senior management within the team as well. It's all about giving you, as the author of your reporting pack, the control to be able to really go away, prepare what you need to prepare, and do what you need to do. One of the biggest things about this reporting pack is, and I touched on it before, if we go to the fields over here, these are all the tables that you've got. And like I said, if anybody have looked at the table structure in i365 before, it's daunting. There are a lot of tables all doing the same. Now, what you get as part of the reporting pack, all these core financial tables are there. You get them. All the relationships between all the tables are already existed for you, already created. So you're getting that, but you're also giving the people who we will give training to a real starter to go away and go and build the reports that you want to build as well, and play around with it without having to go through the pain of having to download all the tables first of all to create the relationships between all your tables to be able to do that. So it really is a superb grounding to go away and do other reports for your more technically, more system accountant people and things like that. Just to touch on a couple of the other pages, but we have an expense analysis page. It's doing what you'd expect in expenses. You'd see expenses by period, you'd see expenses by category. You've got different sorts of information that you need to be able to see. You've got your expenses here by the different types. You can drill down on all these. So if we wanted to just see the next level down to that, you could see whatever levels you've got down to. If you wanted to see what's the numbers behind that number, you can right click on it and see record. And this goes back to what I was saying before. So now you will get, once it catches up, you will get the full breakdown of the numbers. There could be 1,500 numbers in there. You'll get a full list of all the numbers that make up that 5,500. And as I touched on at first, traditional reporting way, you would have all this, you will pivot it, you will put it into that sort of format, and you put it into an income statement. With Power BI, completely the opposite. You get what you want to see. You can drill down. Once you've got to this list, if you wanted to put that in Excel, under more options at the top, you have an export data, and that will export it into a CSV format for you to play around in Excel as well. We can go down to whatever levels that you want to go down to. We can go down to actual transaction number. We're actually working with a customer now who scans every supplier invoice in, and we're going to put a link into Power BI as well, so that even from what they've got here, they scan their images in, they store it in SharePoint, which is a Microsoft Office product, but we can then provide them a link where anybody looking at a report, a budget holder, can look into that, click on the link and actually see from the P&L what the cost is within there as well, and go straight away to the scanned image. So it all interacts and all pulls that information what you will want to see. The whole thing of this, the whole thing of Power BI is making your reporting as easy as possible for your viewers. You know, we would, the part we work with you, we make sure it's ready to go, but it's always about the ease of access of data, and please keep that in mind. Just want to show you one of the daybooks as well. So if we go into GL daybook, all the reports are roughly the same, and anything that you see on here, as I said, we can title it what you want. We can bring in other bits of data. We can bring in whatever you want, really, with regards to that. But you know, you see, you've got a full daybook reporting, all the sort of detailed daybook entry, SQL code. You've got your users who keep that information into the data, into the system. If you wanted to run it by user, you've got the different transactions. You've got your different daybook codes, so you can filter it down by daybook name, daybook code, however you want to filter it down, transaction month, transaction year. But it gives you that quick access to the data really, really quickly. Instead of having to run a report, see if it includes the sort of things you want to look at, then no, it doesn't, and go back to it and run it again. Really, really quick filtering. And finally, within the report, another thing I just want to bring you eyes to is I'll go to subcontractors, because subcontractors, speaking to the guys who install our i365 product, Phil and you know, Adam and other people, getting some of this data is really difficult out of the system. But you've got here where your subcontractors are by location. If you use subcategory subcontract categories, you can highlight, you can drill down. You know, if you had a pool of subcontractors that you wanted to look at for a job in a certain location, you can bring it from here. We can add in CIS number. On the subcontractors creditors tab, we've got the one place view of all the transactions. So you've got your retention, your labour balances, your things like that, all in the one place. And you know, again, working with some customers, we've added to one of these a CIS expiry date and things like that, so it triggers who they need to check, who they need to renew, and things like that. But here you've got all your balances, you've got all your subcontractors, discount, labour balances, all in one place. And as you saw before, all these numbers are drilled down, so you can drill down to the source transactions at any time. I hate the phrase "start for 10," but this report really is, because we'll give you the tools that will let you go with, and this reporting pack gives you the tools that sets you off on a footing. But as part of when we're installing this reporting pack, and with every customer we've done this for, there's been, well, can it do this? Can it do that? Can it do the other? And to be honest, the answers are always yes. As long as you've got that data in your system somewhere, you can run, you can report on it in Power BI. So, you know, once you've done all that within the reporting pack, what we do, and it's all done in Power BI Desktop, which is a free tool, but we then publish it, and the publish is all around then being able to share it and things like that, and you publish it into Office 365 online. And what does that look like? Well, when you come into the report at first, you know, you get a home page, obviously, within your Power BI report, and please excuse all the other reports that I'm looking at for regards to the other areas of the business. But you can see there we've got an i365 reporting pack. Under my workspaces on the left-hand side here, under data sets, you can see i365 reporting pack. We can go in, we can schedule the refresh here, and this is where you put in the details, you schedule the refresh date, and you know, you can say you would enable that, you will put it through, you will make it so that you can have it wherever frequency you want. Looking at the report is exactly the same as what you saw before. Exactly the same as what you saw before. When it pops up, this is what happens when you do a webinar from your house. Yeah, so you know, you're looking at the same information. You've got all your tabs. You've got everything that you need, and everything that you see on here is what you see on your mobile phone, as I said before. But it's from within the Office environment. This is where you do all your sharing, and you understand how that goes around your business. It's a really simple thing. You click on share. You know, it can't get any more simple than that. But you know, you grant access to whoever you want to grant access to within your organizations. You know, they don't need to be i365 users. You can provide access to reports based on i365 data to non-financial users. So, you know, it's very easy to send that. The person will then get a link. They'll be able to click on the report and see to whatever level you want to see. Drawing your eyes down to the bottom here, you can see, and this is one of my big bugbears, and I've requested this off Microsoft a number of times. These 3 boxes are automatically ticked. Really, they shouldn't be, but it says allow recipients to share your report. So you can send it on to one of your team and they can pass it on to somebody else and see that. The second bit down is the biggest thing. That is allow users to build new content using the underlying data set. Now, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that would always be defaulted to no. And so that you're only, and it goes back to what we showed at first, you're only allowing them people to see the data they need to see. If you've got that box ticked, they'll be able to tap this report, have a look at it, and at the left-hand side, they will have here all the table names, so they'll be able to drag in left, right, and center what they need, what they could have, what other tables, other fields within the table structure. So one of the things I would always do is make sure that that was unticked. You can download, you can export it. Power BI works seamlessly with PowerPoint, PDF. You can put the data into Excel from here as well. But if you have a PowerPoint pack with visuals in for things like that, around your monthly reporting packs, you could build that in Power BI, and it's just an export. And that then means your actual pages in your management reporting packs at the end of the month or end of a quarter, or however regularly you do them, are building up daily or weekly, or however much you want to have them refreshing, so you can see them all building up, as I said before. One of the other things I just want to show you as well, through all the pages of this report, and not just this report actually, this is with regards to any report that you have on Power BI, you can create dashboards. Now, as I said then, you don't need to be in the same report, but across every visual, when you hover over it, you get this pin, and you can click on the pin visual and create it to a new dashboard or an existing dashboard. So if I just put i365 test, I'll put that visual in, and I go to job analysis. And put the visual in from here. This is a P&L by job, so it goes down, shows your P&L periods, it shows your job number, your customer. But I can pin that as well. So if I go over that and pin that to an existing dashboard on the i365 test, and pin. Now, as I said, you could do that over any report that you've got, but if I now go to dashboard, you get a dashboard and there, and you can share dashboards. So for example, your CEO, your senior management might only want to see, and you might only want them to see, is probably a better way of putting it, only certain visuals from certain reports. So you can create a management dashboard, and as you can see there, the share buttons option there. So you can you've got the option to just share specific visuals within your reports as well. And yeah, it all goes back to what we said before. It's all about making sure the right people within your organizations have the access to the right information at the right time. And m-hance can help you get to that point and enhance your current reporting, what you've got in your current reporting. So in summary, the reporting pack, and this is a key takeaway for me, the reporting pack is a lot more than just what you saw there. And again, as I mentioned very early, the visuals are extremely basic because every customer has their own specific sort of requirements and likes over the visuals. So we work with you to get the visuals how you would like to see them. But one of the biggest things that you do get within the pack is the fact that your tables are already created, downloaded, and linked. Massive, massive thing. Saves so much time. And don't forget what you can do. You can delete pages. You can save the report into a location, publish it, and that's fine. But you can delete pages, create new pages in a report. So you can take the sort of structure from the table relationships and create other reports to satisfy your internal reporting requirements. Absolutely endless possibilities. As I said before, over the customers that we've put this in, and we use this now massively internally in m-hance, not just finance, but our IT department use it, our sales teams use it, covering a number of different data sources. There's nothing that we've not been able to achieve using Power BI. Think big. Yeah, it's a big tool. Microsoft are investing so heavily in it. So it literally is think your utopia, think your final position, and we can work with you to make that happen and get as close to it as what we possibly can do. And that's a big thing. We're here to help. Any discussion, anything Power BI related, any specific requirements that you have, please get in contact with us via sort of your account manager or myself, and the contact details. I'm more than happy if you've got any specific questions or what you're seeing today, just more like the technical questions around Power BI, just drop me an email on there, or as I said, speak to your account manager. I hope you've seen today just a taster of what it can do. It really is massive, and we can work with you to sort of achieve any of your reporting requirements that you've got. So thanks for your time. As I say, please do contact us. Just as a final note, at the end of this, a survey will pop up just to asking you to sort of rate today's presentation. Please be honest. I don't take anything personally. Be honest. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any other webinar sorts of things that you'd want to be talked about in future, because we're here to help you. You're our customers. We value all our customers. So please fill in the survey. Anything that you wish to discuss, just put down on there. But thank you very much for your time. Really appreciated, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.